Hey everyone, and welcome to Medical Careers You Didn't Know About, where we uncovered the essential, overlooked, and seriously underrated roles that keep the healthcare system running like a well oiled machine. My name is Infinite, and today we're cracking open the files on the medical validation specialist, the hidden force behind accurate claims, clean data, and serious healthcare dollars. If you ever wanted to get into the healthcare without needles, scrubs, or a night shift, this one might be for you. Stick around and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because the next career move might just be hidden in this episode. And if you're serious about moving forward in this career, be sure to click the link in the description below because I do have a roadmap PDF that'll save you some time on getting started. So, with all that being said, let's get into it.
Step into the world of infinite intelligence, where knowledge meets entertainment and brilliance. You'll find the answers to life's greatest questions. With every video, we spark new obsessions. Infinite intelligence, we're here to elevate. Unlock your mind and let the wisdom resonate. We dive into the depths of the universe unknown. Infinite intelligence and knowledge is our own.
Welcome to your comprehensive guide to building a successful career as a medical validation specialist. Whether you're new to healthcare or transitioning from another field, this roadmap will navigate you through the essential steps, skills, and opportunity in this vital healthcare role. Medical validation specialists serve as critical gatekeepers in the healthcare revenue cycle, ensuring claim payment accuracy and contractual compliance. This presentation outlines everything from the core responsibilities to long-term career growth, providing you with a clear path forward in this rewarding profession. All right, so understanding the role of a medical validation specialist. Medical validation specialists function as the critical quality control checkpoint that prevents costly claims from denying and delays. Their work directly impacts a healthcare organization's financial performance and compliance standing. All right, so let's go into the role before I break all this down. All right. So medical validation specialists verify the accuracy of patient information, diagnosis, procedure codes, and insurance details after claim submissions. They serve as quality assurance experts within healthcare revenue cycle. So, what does that mean? That means when a claim denies, the medical validation specialist will understand and know the contract between the insurance company, the healthcare uh, company, and the hospital. All right. So, with knowing, that means you're going to know what's expected, the expected reimbursement. You're going to know this from the procedure codes and diagnosis codes that are billed, and you're going to know how certain claims pay or whatnot. All right, so that's just one small tidbit of what that role would look like. All right, so let's go further into it. Position and revenue cycle. The specialists work between clinical documentation and billing departments, correcting claim denials, and ensuring compliance with insurance requirements and healthcare regulations. So, what does that mean? That means, for example, I work at a hospital. So, I work in the billing department in the hospital. So, if I'm working in the billing department validating a claim that has a coding issue, that means I need to forward it over to HIM. identify that code for them so they can look at it and put a modifier on it if needed. That would be your responsibility, identifying underpayments and communicating those issues, however the policy procedures in the place that you're in, to go ahead and get that updated so a corrected claim can be submitted in a timely fashion. All right. And obviously you would know what the timely filing guidelines are for the corrected claim, et cetera, et cetera. So moving forward, value proposition. So by reviewing claims after payments, validation specialists identify errors and inconsistencies that may affect compliance, revenue integrity, and payer relations. Their work ensures healthcare organizations recover underpayments, avoid audits, and strengthen the accuracy of future claims. So, for example, let's say we have inpatient claim, and inpatient claims pay per DRG. So that means they're given a numerical rate, of what's going on, identifying what's going on with the claim, and it pays a specific payment that's contractually, that was contractually negotiated between the insurance company and the hospital, right? So let's say we have a claim that was billed with a DRG of 300, and it comes in 300 pays $10,000, but it comes back with 304 and it only paid $5,000. So as a validation specialist, it would be your job to know what it's supposed to pay, identify that it's an underpayment, and go about the process of resolving those underpayment issues. Okay, and if a DRG downgrade was performed, you will go about that process. All right. Like I said, that's just a very, very small detail of what's to come in that position. All right, so let's start at the bottom. What are some of the foundational things that you're going to need to go into this field? You are going to definitely need analytical thinking, logical problem solving, approach to validation issues. All right. I'm not even going to get into that right now. Communication, clear interaction with providers, coders, and insurance personnel. You got to make sure when you are communicating, especially nonverbal communication, that your notes are very clear in what you are needing from the person that you are communicating with. Whether that's the insurance company, whether that's the coders, whether that's the physicians. There's sometimes you might need to send something over there to credentialing because something's going on with the provider's MPI. You need to be able to relay that information in the most professionalist manner to get those issues resolved in a timely fashion. All right. Compliance awareness, familiarity with healthcare regulations and payer requirements. All right. Medical knowledge, understanding of medical terminology and procedures. And lastly, paying attention to detail, ability to spot discrepancies in medical documentation. All right. There are sometimes you might have a claim that denies, let's say it denies for a POA indicator, and you need to be able to identify what box that's in, whether it's been properly noted on the claim. Small things like that, regarding in reference to the documentation. Okay. Successful medical validation specialists combine technical expertise with interpersonnel skills. They must navigate complex regulations while effectively communicating with diverse stakeholders across the healthcare system. Persistence, integrity, and adaptability are equally valuable traits in this dynamic field. And like I also mentioned earlier, things are constantly changing. So you have to definitely, those skills, all these things are things that you will be using on a daily basis. All right. And if you're serious about getting started, you can click the link in the description below. Okay, what does the education and certification pathways look like? All right, at the foundation, you're going to need, is preferred, an associate's degree in health information management or any related fields. There are also certifications that you can get from the AAPC and the AHIMA. The credentials are listed below: the CPC, the CCS, and the CPMA, as well as several other credentials. They have specialized training, uh, about validation specified courses, and on the job experience. While a healthcare related degree provides a solid foundation, professional certifications are often more valued by employers. The American Academy of Professional Coders and the American Health Information Management Association offers respected credentials like the CPC and the CCS. Okay. So, essential tools and technology. So, these are just some of the programs that you will be multitasking in. They are not set in stone, but you may have, if you're already in healthcare field, you may have already heard of them. Some of these I use, some of these I don't use, some of these I've never used. Uh, so let's get into it. So for the electronical, the electronic medical records. We have Epic, Cerner, and Meditech. And I know Meditech is like super, super old. I think we used to have Cerner, and I think right now, we're, let's see here before I make sure. Right now, we're working out of, I just had a brain fart. Soaring Financials. All right. So claims processing systems. We have Ability. We have Waystar and a Navinet. Okay. Never heard of Navinet. And yeah. All right. And these are just some that we have. And what are and let me go back. What are claim processing systems? Claim processing systems are systems that insurance companies use so you can check the status of the claim. So, for instance, um, rather than me going to Blue Cross Blue Shield's website regarding a patient's claim, I would log on to Avality and do that. So that's what that looks like. Reference resource, you have your ICD-10 books, your CPT manuals, and your payer policy portals. All right. Lastly, we have data analysis tools. I use Microsoft Excel on a daily basis. I'm not familiar with SQL basics in a Tableau. Proficiency with these technologies is crucial for success in medical validation. Most employers provide system specific training, but familiarity with healthcare software interfaces and basic manipulation skills will give you a significant advance when starting this field. Okay? All right. So, and one thing I do want to add, in my journey, I kind of started from the bottom up in healthcare. Um, so I used to be a correspondence specialist. So as a correspondence specialist, we work in a same system but a different aspect of the system. And as you move forward and up in your roles, you will find that to be true in a lot of these positions. But when you start from the bottom up, it does give you an advantage because no one knows where to look for to find information. Uh, and you don't have to do a whole lot because you know immediately where to go to look for that information. All right. Let's see here. All right, so what salaries are we looking at? Entry level positions, we are starting at 45, and we go up mid level to 60, and then we go up to 75, and senior level we are at 90K. Salary ranges for medical validation specialists vary based on geographical location, facility type, and additional certifications. Urban healthcare centers and larger hospitals systems typically offer higher compensation than rural facilities or smaller practices. Okay, so what are some of the pros and cons in this field that we are looking at? Some of the advantages that we are looking at is a stable employment with consistent demand, ability to work remote after experience, a clear career advancement path, intellectually stimulating work. That is very true. Contributing contribution to healthcare quality, definitely. Regular business hours, typically. All right, and I hope you do not hear my chair squeaking so much. All right. What are some of the challenges? Steep learning curve for learners. That is true. It took me, I'm going to be honest with you all, it took me about a year and some change to understand, remember, grab the whole concept of all what validations, what all comes with a medical validation specialist, as far as just like I've gotten to the point now, I can look at a claim and know what it's denied for immediately, and know how to handle it immediately. Just looking at the codes and all that type of stuff, but it takes a minute to get to that point. So in the meantime, you're pulling up spreadsheets and charts and contracts and all different types of stuff, but you just gotta give yourself time. All right. So, and that goes to the next thing. Uh, Constant regulatory changes and potential for high stress environments. Okay. Required continuing education, limited patient interaction, and performance metric pressure. Medical validation specialists offer a balanced career with significant benefits, but requires commitment to ongoing education. Many professionals appreciate the blend of healthcare impact without direct patient care responsibilities. The field is rewarding, though the field rewards those who embrace continuous education and can navigate complex system effectively efficiently. All right. So, what are some of the daily responsibilities? Now, I should have updated this to kind of go more into it. These are true, but these are true when you're looking at claims that are denying for these purposes. So, medical validation specialist, if it, let's say a claim denies for an EOB, and no different from a medical collector, because they would handle this if they were to get it first, if they were in a hospital environment, if it was broke down uh, into these positions. But let's say a claim denies for EOB, so documentation is needed in this. So that would be a example of documentation review. All right, coding validation. Let's say I have a claim that denied because of the diagnosis code, or it needs a 340B modifier. That it would be a coding validation. I would send that to where it needs to go to regarding that. All right, let's say I have in reference to compliance checks. Let's see here, adhere to payer policies and regulations. So that's no different from I would put that under underpayments, possibly because it didn't pay according to what we were contracted. So that would be adhering to compliance and regulatory. From that, I'm gonna just put that under that. And provider inquiry requesting clarification on ambiguous documentation. Um, let's say you have a sterilization form that needs to be filled out correctly. I will put that under that. So, but those are just, like I said, some reasons why claims were denied and what the validation specialist would be doing in regards to those. All right, the role requires balancing accuracy with productivity expectations, often validating between 30 and 50 days. Me in my world, less than 120 days accounts. Daily, depending on complexity. Uh, Regular communication with coders, providers, and billing specialists ensure issues are resolved promptly to maintain revenue cycle efficiency. All right. So, what does the work environment and job setting entail? So, when you're in, let's see, healthcare provider settings, we have hospital settings, and it breaks down here inpatient and outpatient. Physician practices, we have ambulatory surgery centers, and we have rehabilitation facilities. All right. So, next, we have third party organizations such as insurance companies, healthcare consulting firms, revenue cycle management companies, and auditing organizations. All right, and lastly, we have work arrangements. You can work full time on site, hybrid schedules, fully remote with experience, and contract freelance opportunities. Work environment varies significantly across the field. Providers based positions often offer more interactive interactions with clinical staff, but may have stricter on the site requirements. Third party organizations more frequently offer remote opportunities but may have higher productivity expectations. Remote positions typically require 1 to 2 years of experience demonstrating reliability. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated remote work adoption in this field, creating more flexible opportunities than previously available. All right. So, what does the career growth opportunities look like in this field? Now, this is just some of the related positions going from the bottom up, starting from a medical validation specialist. So, we have a medical validation specialist, we have a coding auditor, and we have a claims examiner. All right. Next, we have a senior validation specialist, a compliance auditor, and a clinical documentation specialist. Okay, and you can actually be both. I myself am actually kind of like both. All right. So next we have leadership. We have validation team lead. We have audit manager, and we have revenue integrity manager. And lastly, for the executive path, we have a director of revenue integrity, a compliance officer, and a revenue cycle executive. Okay. Career progression typically comes from specialization in complex service lines or advancement into management. Many specialists eventually move into related roles in compliance, clinical documentation improvement, or revenue cycle management. With experience, emerges emerge opportunities emerge for consulting work, which often offers higher compensation. Teaching and training positions at certification organizations or educational institutions provide another career path for both the strong communication. Hold up. Another path, career path for those with strong communication skills. All right. Let me get some water, you all. I did good. I did good. All right. So, what are some of the key takeaways that I'm leaving with you? Okay. So, a valuable healthcare role. Medical validation specialists play a critical role in ensuring healthcare organizations remain financially visible while maintaining regulatory compliance. Viable while maintaining regulatory compliance. A clear path forward. This field often structured advancement opportunities with certification milestones and experience based progression. All right. A supportive community. Professional organizations provide resources, continuing education, and networking opportunities essential for career growth and growth industry. Healthcare compliance and revenue integrity continue to expand, creating stable employment prospects with competitive salary compensation. All right, begin your journey by joining the AAPC or the AHIMA. This is not a sponsorship. As a student member to access their extensive resources, research local healthcare employers to identify entry points to that align with your background. Consider informational interviews with current validation specialists to gain insight to daily realities for the profession, or you can click the link in the description below. Remember that success in this field comes from a combination of technical knowledge, attention to detail, effective communication skills, with dedication, and the right preparation. You can build a rewarding career that offers stability, growth potential, and the satisfaction to contributing to healthcare excellence. All right. So, if you have made it this far, I do want to let you know that I have something special for you. Outside of clicking the link in the description below, if you want to get started on this journey on a serious note, I do have a free medical terminology guide that will help you with this field. I have it for the healthcare. What is it? The telehealth. I have one for the telehealth. It's free if you go to that video. I'll put the link in the description below there. And I will be putting the link in the description below on this video so you can get your free medical terminology for this career path. So it's 20 pages, but it will definitely help you with knowing the lingos and the abbreviations and all that stuff that you can get started, and that will be free. But like I said, you can click the link in the description below for your full guide, so you don't have to do any additional research. All right. So that wraps up this video, and these of what we uncovered in the role of a medical validation specialist. We went over the quality control pros and cons, ensuring clean claims and compliant, verifying codes, spotting errors, and preventing expensive denials. The job blends healthcare knowledge with tech and communication skills. You don't need a degree to start, but certifications like a CPC or a CCS. We went over the healthcare systems that you will be learning or using. We went over the salary. We went over the salary. We also went over the remote work possibilities. We went over the career path that this will lead you to, such as auditing, compliance, and revenue integrity. And best of all, we went over the high demand and stability in this role. Now, if this sounds like your kind of path, please download the Medical Validation Specialist Roadmap. The link will be in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on the next episode of Medical Careers You Didn't Know About, where your future gets a little bit brighter, one role at a time. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Once again, if you learned something from this video, please like, subscribe, share, And I'm out.